This isn't my usual wellness, walking, or rebounding video, but I thought I'd come on here today and talk to you about, I just had basal cell carcinoma surgery a week ago, or Mohs surgery, if any of you know what that is. But I just wanted to talk about it if I could help any of you all that are dealing with the same thing or prevention, right? This is a wellness channel, so I just wanted to give you my experience with it. But about a year and a half ago, I found a bump on my scalp and went into the dermatologist to have it looked at. And the dermatology clinic, I will say, is like a national company. So it's in 20 states. And they had a PA look at my scalp. There was not a doctor ever on duty there, as far as I know. So I never saw a doctor, but I saw this PA. It was very young. And anyway, he looked at it, said it was fine, and proceeded to freeze it off. A couple months later, I saw that it wasn't getting any better, and it was itching, and I was scratching it, and it was bleeding. And so I couldn't get in. I usually go in, I have very fair skin, and I usually go in every 6 months, but they told me that I was good and to only come in once a year. Anyway, I had an appointment probably 4 months later, and I kind of waited because it was just so hard to get into these people. I live in a small town, and there's not just a ton of dermatologists here, so I waited. And when I went back in, my insurance had changed, and they told me when I got there that they didn't accept my insurance. Well, I told them I didn't want to skip my appointment and that I would pay cash, and they told me that they did not accept cash, which was a little disturbing to me because who doesn't accept cash? So anyway, I left, told them I would never be back, and wrote them a horrible review on Yelp, and then made an appointment with another dermatology place and had to wait a few months to get in. And when I got in, let me back up and say the original place I had been going to for a long time, years. And anyway, when I went to the new place, I got in sooner because there was a PA that could assist me. So the biggest difference that I noticed was this between this PA and the other PA that I'd seen was that this guy was very, very thorough. I mean, I couldn't even believe it. The other place, the last time I had gone in, they didn't even check my backside because they said that they didn't need to do it and that I was okay. And I thought it was a little strange, but I didn't pursue it further. But this guy, he checked me very thoroughly, and he said I'd been scratching it and it was just very hard for him to see on there. And so what he did, he told me to stop scratching it and that he would see me in 3 months. And so I really worked hard at not scratching it, but it kind of grew. And when I came back, he said, we definitely need to biopsy it. So they did, and then a couple days later, they called and they said, yes, you've got basal cell carcinoma. You need to come in and have Mohs surgery. We have a Mohs surgeon on staff, and she can do it in 1 month. And so last week, I went in for Mohs surgery. And what started out was, when this first started, this was about the size of a eraser on a pencil, just that much diameter. And after they biopsied it, it was probably 3 times that size, And the scab fell off, but it was still kind of gross. And I'll think about putting some pictures on this so you can see. I don't want to put the really graphic ones, and I do have some really graphic ones that my husband took, but I think I'll pass on those. But anyway, the biggest thing was that they came in and they thought that they'd gotten it all. They went and they analyzed it, and they came back and they had to go back in again because it had spread from the time spent. They had to go back in and do some more. So to seal it up, now this was like right on my part line. I was a product of the 70s where I spent a lot of my time with sun-in in my hair and those foil things to try and get tanner. I always wanted to get tan, but I always burned and never listened to my mother about putting sunscreen on. And I never would wear a hat because I thought I looked funny in hats. And now you guys are going to see me in hats for a long time because they did have to shave some of my hair. And I'm at that midlife point where I'm losing a lot of hair and a lot, and it's getting thin, right? So this did not help, I will say that. But anyway, they made a big slice in my scalp. It wasn't that big of a deal. They do numb it. They told me that they were probably going to have to use a couple of staples in it. And that kind of freaked me out because I was like, ooh, staples? I don't know. Well, she was really used to, I guess she's performed thousands of surgeries, and she was very used to people being freaked out about that. So when she walked in the room, she got out her staple gun or whatever. And I mean, she put the staples in about 5 seconds. I've got 12 staples in my head. So I will say that I didn't think that I would be affected that much, but they told me, you know, I couldn't do any type of exercise for a couple days, and then all I could do was walk slowly. No fast walking, no weighted vests, no bouncing on the trampoline, no anything. So anyway, it's been a week now. I don't get my staples out for another week. Anyway, it's just kind of been a slow going process. And so I'm going to talk again about what I'm doing for recovery from that. I just wanted to get on here today and talk to you about that and how important it is to go in for regular skin screening for the sun. So if you have never had a skin cancer check, especially if you've got fair skin, but even if you don't, you should go in and have those unusual moles checked. If they just pop up or they look weird, they also check your back side and all the different areas. So you definitely want to have those checked because this had actually grown in under the skin of my head and spread a little bit. So I've got like about a 3-inch slice in there that they have stapled back together. So I hope this helps somebody, and stay tuned. I have been using a brand new balance board that I am the first one to test it on the market, and it's getting ready to come out, and I'm going to do another video about it because this thing is so cool that I want to share it with you all. So stay tuned, and I'll talk to you next week.